support masculinity and masculine traits, I'm with you, right?
Okay, so you agree a man should protect and provide for a woman?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you agree if you were walking down the street with a woman, you'd be responsible with her safety?
Yeah.
Cool, absolutely. So if that woman wanted to walk alone at
I don't
night,
think I have authority over the woman as we do that.
Okay, so let me ask you another question, Piers, because we are professionals. Let's say your woman decided she wanted to take a nice little walk through the south side of Chicago at 2 a.m., and she wanted you to go with her, and you were responsible for fighting and dying on the spot if she was attacked. Don't you think you would say to her, no, we're not going out right now, it's not safe?
Yes.
Okay, so you'd have authority to make the decision. So
no, I wouldn't.
So
I would say, I don't think you should. If she decides to, it's her own volition.
Well, if she decides, you're not going to stop her.
I have no power to stop her.
Completely.
But you think you do.
No, I don't think I have power to stop her.
He's saying I wouldn't go. Yo, this is so simple.
No, I think I have power to make the decision. I think, no, that's not sensible.
So if you have the power to make the decision, you have the power to stop her.
No, because
that's where we differ. And that's why I think it's interesting about you. I don't think you really think through what you're saying.
I think through what I'm saying so carefully.
Yeah, but Andrew,
Piers,
what you've literally just said is that you have the power to stop her.
No, I said I don't have the power to stop her. I'm not going to...
Don't have authority to stop her.
Okay, but as a couple, if we're going to sit there and decide if we're going to take this...
You asked me, would I feel a sense of responsibility for her safety? Absolutely.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
So
would
let me
I
finish,
have the
Piers.
power or authority to stop her doing it? No.
No, of course not. So let me finish, Piers. You're not going to stop her walking out the hotel. Of course, it's her decision. She's a sovereign individual. My point is that usually in a couple, people you sit there as a team and you discuss, and perhaps on certain issues, the woman will know more about X and she'll decide X, and the man might know more about Y and he'll decide Y.
That's how it works. Okay, I'm going to break down what's going on here on a deeper level. The reason why he's obsessed with authority is because he's confusing it with power. And a fundamental presupposition of postmodernism coupled with modern Marxism is that there is nothing in the world besides power disparities which denote the oppressor to oppressee relationship. There's no such thing as competence. There's no such thing as authority, because all hierarchies are built upon corruption and power disparity. So they can't. That is a uniform. That is univariable analysis. They cannot view a dynamic in any other way besides a power dynamic. But that's the problem with that is that's incomplete. There's more to it, because there's not just a power dynamic. There's a competence dynamic. Bro, if my girlfriend says, how do I play the violin? Or she's playing the violin. I know how to play the violin very well. I can tell her, you're doing this wrong. That's not me exercising power over her. That's me coming from a place of competence and telling her, you should do it this way. But because they can only view the world in terms of power disparities, they'd be like, you are literally forcing her to play the violin differently, to change her bow hold, to change vibrato. Like, no. The Marxist philosophy requires that people view the world in terms of power disparities, in terms of power dynamics. But that's not the way the world works, because that's not how hierarchies are constructed. Hierarchies, for the most part, are constructed upon competence and authority. So it's incorrect. And the reason why this matters is because I'm explaining how Piers Morgan is misunderstanding that he's misunderstanding reality. He believes that there's nothing but power, and that could be a subtle belief, but it is insisted upon by the Marxist doctrine, which is, of course, completely permeates the radical leftist agenda in all its facets, including those manifested in feminism.
So I'm saying if we're as a couple and we're sitting there and deciding, as a couple, as a team, and she says she wants to take this late night stroll, I'm going to say, you know what, I'm going to veto this one. I'm going to call veto.
Do you believe in...
Because it's dangerous,
right,
which to a degree would give me, in that particular scenario, a degree of authority. If she said...
He can't accept that, because his worldview doesn't account for anything besides power disparities. I'm more powerful than you, therefore I force you to do this. That's not how the world works. That's not how the world works. It's, I'm more competent at X. You accept that, so I can like direct our direction. Like, it's very, very easy to understand. People who don't grasp this, I think, are necessarily blinded when working with other people. I thoroughly believe this, because if I were working, I've worked with hundreds of people, at high levels to create like musical works in classical music, and if any of them had been like, I can't listen to you, or if I had been like, if my attitude had been towards another person, I can't listen to you because you're trying to exercise power over me, we wouldn't have created anything. There's no way to do that. So, and the same thing is true in trying to create a relationship. There's going to be leaders in situations that don't rule based on power. They direct based on competence. It's very simple, but this unsophisticated worldview of Marxism only denotes relationship dynamics based upon power, which is completely incorrect.
Said, I don't want to listen to you, Andrew.
It doesn't give you authority.
She says, I don't want to listen to you, Andrew. I want to go on that walk. Then what can I do? Say, well, then
Then you're not a person that can be collaborated with, is the answer. In the example that I gave, you would be a person who nobody wants to work with. You'd be a person who isn't as good as everybody else because everyone else will necessarily surpass you if you're unwilling to work and take on advice of other people. Like, it's a completely unsustainable idea, which is why I think it also probably aligns as a tenet of Marxism, because Marxism is extraordinarily resentful of capitalism, and capitalism is made up of competence hierarchies to create things of value. So it's unsustainable, so it can't create things of value. And yeah, so it's incomplete, woefully incomplete.
You don't have authority.
I wish you the best, my love.
Then you don't have authority.
Cool.
Then you would find a woman who realizes that he's better at fighting, therefore she listens. It's very simple.
It's a semantic argument.